So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial about getting up and running with the Read and Write for Google app for iPad. When you open the Read and Write for Google app, and you're going to go through the setup wizard for this. So several of the settings are pretty important. When the keyboard comes up, well, first of all, Read and Write for the iPad works different than Read and Write as a Chrome extension. So the Read and Write functionality works as just a keyboard here on the iPad. So when you start at the top and you look at some of the different features that are available, highlight vowels. What that's going to do is on the keyboard itself, the vowels will be highlighted. They'll be separate. Now, I personally don't need that, but maybe for some other students that might be useful for them. One thing I wish we could do is do a customize which letters we could highlight, but that's not available. The second thing that you can choose is to use an open dyslexic font or not. There's not a whole lot of research that supports the efficacy of the open dyslexic font, but it is a tool and it is something to try with your students with dyslexia. Now, moving down, you can pick the color of your theme. I find the teal very soothing. Keyboard clicks I have turned on. It'll give me the auditory feedback when I'm hitting the keys. Speak as I type means that as I'm typing, when I get to the end of a word, it's going to tell me what I just typed. Continuous reading is the same sort of thing. If I go back and I'm done, it's going to read what I typed. Let me just double check on that one. Continuous reading says, turn this setting on to have speech automatically continue after each sentence. So that is what I have turned on as well, and we'll show you. Speak suggestion, that's where if I see a word that is predicted, I can tap on it and it will read it to me to see if it's the word I want. Now, if I don't have swipe to insert turned on, but I just have speak suggestion turned on, one tap will read the word to me, double tap will insert the word. But I have swipe to insert, so instead of the double tap, I will actually do an upward swipe to swipe the selected word into the passage. And then predict ahead is a nice feature because it kind of tries to guess what you're talking about. So if you were typing a sentence about going to the store, it would say, one day I went to the, and then it might give you store as one of the examples of what you could type. So we're going to get out of this, and to get your keyboard set up, you're going to go into settings. It'll be general settings. So if I go back, it'll look like this. Keyboard is toward the bottom, and you're going to hit keyboards at the top. Now, mine's already loaded, but yours won't be initially. So you're going to go to add new keyboard, and you're going to see under like third-party keyboards, it'll say read and write keyboard. You're going to tap on that, and it'll insert. Okay, and once you have it all set, you're good to go. So if we go to a Google Doc, I was practicing around with this earlier, so I said doing some word prediction. So if I tap on the screen, come on, I want to do some typing. There we go. So you can see right here, it brought up my Read and Write for Google keyboard. And you know it's my Read and Write for Google keyboard because it's teal. Let's say I wanted my standard keyboard back for some reason, I would just hit the globe. And same thing, if your keyboard comes up as the default, then you just hit the globe and it'll bring up your other available keyboards. One feature that's not available, if you have a student that likes to thumb type, like to get the split screen is not available on the Read and Write keyboard. So there's just not that functionality. Also, what's not available is the speech to text. So the features that I do have are great. I've got the word prediction. I've got this is to check spelling. This is to check the dictionary. This is to read back what I typed. But if you want to be able to speak to type, you've got to toggle back into your standard keyboard to the microphone. turn it off there. I'll go back to this one. So some of the features here. The only thing we have to... There's fear. So is fear itself. See if it'll help me out.
Is.
That's where I read it. I just double or single tapped on it. I swipe it up to put... What if I don't know how to spell fear? It's not really good with the predicting when I have... Aha, there we go.
Fear.
That's it.
Fear.
So even if you have some folks that are like phonetic spellers or inventive spellers, it's not really robust, but it's pretty good. And if your students don't know what they're spelling, again, just go back to the speech and just say it into the computer. So if we want to read this back to make sure.
Go to the store down the street for me. I would like you to pick up a gallon of milk. Then come home as fast as you can. The microphone is not available on the read and write keyboard. The only thing we have to fear is fear.
I should finish that up. That's going to bug me. So let's see if I'm an inventive speller. Oh no, I put it in the wrong spot. Sphere.
Itself.
And
the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
So that's the continuous reading. So you get the word after each time it's typed, and then you have the sentence after it's completed. If there was spelling mistakes, I have no errors. Can you believe that? Well, I should have made some. No errors. Go back to the keyboard. So that's just some of the basics with the read and write keyboard. It's got great word prediction. You have the spell check. You've got the dictionary. You can look up some words. Not all the functionality is available that's available on the Chrome extension, but still with a little bit of a tweak, you can get a lot of improvement, a lot of help for students that have difficulty with written expression.